It's just easier to do it like this because I'm recording all the other videos and they're uploading. I've got 3 videos uploading at once and there's no signal out here, and I needed to be out in Mother Nature. So the big news is this month coming, it's quite a large transit because we're having the eclipse in Capricorn, we're having the new moon in Cancer, we're also having Saturn move from Aquarius into Capricorn again. So, you know, some of the zodiac signs will experience that to be extremely heavy. So I'm trying to prepare you energetically, also to give you the deeper spiritual way you can actually handle it. And also, while I was talking to Giggle, we had a very interesting idea, which I think is quite important to look at. So if you do know a karmic energy and you know their zodiac sign, I am creating a video based on their zodiac sign and how they will be handling the aspects of the adversity with the astrology and what the cards are saying for them. So I have tuned into that and I've begun them. So you will be getting a video at the beginning of the month based on your astrology, the cards, ruins, and crystals. And it's going to cover your career and finances, your family and tribe, the direct eclipse energy and the moon energy, and then it's into the romance read. And then mid-month you will also get an additional read that is completely romance only, plus the karmic read. So I have pulled the cards, I have not looked at them. So I'm outside in Mother Nature and I have the native animal totem cards as well as my fortune reading cards. Now I've pulled the masculines, the karmics, and the feminine energy. And it's funny because there's 2 additional cards and they're all face down. I have not looked at them and I'm sitting with the energy at the moment. And I wanted to, beyond the ego, look at the energy. Now, who do we pick first? Okay, feminine. We've done so many masculine reads. Let's have a look at the feminines. Okay, how are you guys coming through? Okay, you're coming through very maturely. And one of the ruins that I actually picked was linked into Odin, also with crow animal totem energy. It also does link back to the frequency of you guys returning to the scarred energy of who you are and that you are guided and protected. And I do feel you're going to try and take on a very mature approach, especially with your healing. I feel you guys are looking at it from a frequency of trying to be as accountable as possible. Now, what's coming up in your mind? Okay, I do feel it's funny because you've got this card in reverse and it's about the fact that there's 2 paths, and I feel you know your destiny. I feel you know where your heart is, be it the person's with you or not. And some of you may be very uncertain at the moment, very confused. Venus is going direct at the moment. It's perfectly natural. Plus, because we're having Neptune going retrograde, it can be a very distorted time and you can feel quite disillusioned. So regardless of how you feel about your twin or your love interest, I'm really feeling there's some sense of confusion coming through, but it is due to the aspects of you really reassessing where you are, where you want to go, and how you're going to be utilizing the frequency moving forward. Now, you may have felt very protected in the past, but it sort of feels like you might feel that you've been abandoned. It's quite interesting. And a lot of abandonment-related energy can be coming up. Now, this is in the past position. Your angels and your guides being with you. Now, I am really feeling that there could be energies of psychic attack, a lot of ascension symptoms. You feeling that somehow you might have missed the path or you're missing a link in the puzzle. Yeah, scarred union, like feeling very disconnected, really questioning and looking at contracts in general. Juno's in Libra at the moment, and with Venus going direct, again, it does make sense that this energy is coming through for feminine. It's confusion as to, again, you know, who this person is. Are you on the right path? Are you seeing things correctly? Are you missing something? And I almost feel like you're trying to be mature, but the maturity can be head over heart. Being very rational, which isn't a bad thing, but I do feel looking at these other energies, it may make sense. Now, the foundation, you feel something's hidden from you. You've got owl in reverse. At the heart of it, you do know there is a cycle here, and some of this is destiny. Some of this is making you a little bit nervous, and there's infinite ways this can go, especially with Cancer eclipse. Plus what's going on globally, you know, it can be affecting your frequency, especially with the Schumann resonance spiking. It's a very testing time for you. Some of you don't even feel that you're home. And again, with the element of crow that came through, the reason I'm mentioning it is because so far for 2 zodiac signs, the same ruin has come through. And I do feel it's collective energy at the moment. So, you know, some of you might be feeling like you're returning back over old ground, which is really what the frequency of the ruin, you know, denotes. It's feeling as though you're doing a 360 and coming back to the same space and really fretting over the fact if that's a good or bad thing. Anything that's coming up that's old, it's helping you return to the core value system of who you are. Now, moving forward, I do feel many of you are losing patience, and this can be due to the Mars placement. Now, the 2 external energies. It's unique that the fire energies here, and I mentioned Mars, let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. So it is due to the fact that right now, so many changes are happening and the old is getting burnt away. It can link into the Phoenix rising as well. Jupiter at the end of the year is moving into Aquarius. As I mentioned, it's going to be a more comfortable time. So, you know, waiting for that, it can be very frustrating, and it doesn't mean to say movement isn't happening, but this is, you know, from here moving into July, because we're ending that nodal energy, we have so much heavy Cancer energy moving into July that it's almost like a continuation of that energy with Mercury and Cancer. So your movement, your family, your tribe, your belief systems about what's going on in relationships, it's all coming up, especially with Neptune retrograde and Pisces. We're really checking our psychology and trying to be very mature, but at the same time maybe creating a little bit of paranoia. Okay, what it's saying is there is blessings coming, and this can be a very small totem, so to speak, but I do feel what it's saying is, you know, the heart chakra activation, that there are going to be blessings for all the spiritual hard work you've done. You have achieved a lot. You may not see the outcome of that just yet, but it is saying that, and there can be a connotation connected to the flower as well. A very symbolic energy of maybe a linking in with you and counterpart with a particular flower. But very separately, I do feel that fulfillment is coming. Now, let's look at the masculines, their crowning energy. Okay, again, a cycle ending in their energy, which makes sense. They're aware that there are new cycles. And it's funny because when I was doing, I think I did an update on Facebook, and Twin turned up home, and I've mentioned to him a few times that, you know, a lot of you would like to actually hear a masculine's perspective. He's a very, very private person, plus his placement is Cancer, so he is very, very intuitive. You know, a lot of masculines do come through in a very unique way. How do I place it? Yes. Okay, what's on their mind is toxic energy. So it's the toxicity. They're thinking of the reality of where they've come from. They also are aware that there are manipulative energies around. And I feel that that cycle, it's again, the cycle of life ending that cycle, that it doesn't resonate with them anymore. And again, this can be linking in around the Capricorn eclipse. And really thinking back to wishing that they had bought this again, full 360, and looking at who they directly resonate with. A lot of their transformation this year with Jupiter and Mars has been very testing. I do feel in general they're wanting this to come back. And I don't know, I keep hearing the song Return to the Mac. Now, at the heart of it, they want this celebration as much as you do. They want to have things in their life that make them happy. This can be an offer that they're wanting to make to you if they haven't already, and they have full intent to move that forward. The foundation is whatever they don't value, they're moving away from. And it's not all pentacles, okay? So it's more heart-based chakra. Yeah, they're getting their Leo energy, and they're actually moving it forward. And I do feel they're seeing the light in it. but I do feel this is power driven, and I feel potentially through this transit, especially with the energy of the sun coming through, I also do feel there is a link to the Lionsgate portal. And because we're having we had the eclipse in Cancer in June, and then we've moved through with all this heavy Cancer placement and then the Capricorn energy, it's been a 2.5 year cycle, but some of these cycles go further back. Let's get into the frequency of the karmic. Okay, some healing needed. And again, yeah, needing to shed their skin. Okay, they're not really using their intuition. They're not really using logic. Quite sneaky frequency, but directly, you know, might be coming through acting in a particular way where, you know, they're wanting the best, they're wanting to make things right. But again, it's almost like they're trying to cover this snake energy. Now, in the past, they were lucky in their minds. And so they're looking back and seeing the gratefulness of this. But their judgment in their heart has been quite imbalanced. And this was really what was coming through with this transit. They're also feeling as though they can't win. So there is this tactical approach coming through here. They also know that this is going to be a huge challenge because they feel the frequency between the two, and they do feel at their foundation like they're losing something, but only appreciating it directly after. But what they're not understanding is this has actually transformed them, and it's giving them what they need, and in their mind they can't see the reality of this situation. Yeah, their plans have not moved the way they thought they would. And they don't know how to transform this. You know, they don't, the art of being able to change direction has been quite problematic, and even trying to shift either the masculine or the feminine's energy back to a way of being. This is an ending of this situation. Yeah, and I do feel, again, July, because Christmas in July, I'm feeling this is really coming up in July towards the eclipses. Now, the new moon moving into Cancer, I do feel families and energies and home environments are going to shift. Yeah, just be at peace, understand, just be cautious with this energy. If they're coming through trying to make peace with you, still create a healthy distance, because I really do feel with their energy, it's due to an intent. So if you can cut cords, or even keep your distance, but keep your guard up in a sense of awareness. Allow this to naturally take its cycle. This is very much for this person to experience. Now, as for the reads that we're going to do, if you do want a private read, you can go to the link below. Also, I will be doing, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, an additional read, which will be the zodiac signs as per karmic zodiac sign. So if you have some advice as to how to name them, feel free to drop a link below, and I will see you live a little bit later.